Hello, you wonderful people. So for today's video, I'm going to talk about why I love the TV show Barry and, finally say goodbye to it. Obviously, I'm getting to this pretty late, but rather late than never, But really quickly, if you're unfamiliar with Barry Barry follows the title character. He is, Barry, and he's a hitman who's grown tired of being a hitman. So when one of his jobs ends up taking him to LA, one of the people he's trying to kill is an actor who's a part of this acting class. Well, Barry finds new purpose amongst acting. He thinks this could be that next stage in his life. He was already reluctant about the whole hitman thing, but now he found something else that he's passionate about. He gets to finally not have to kill people for a living anymore. But Barry's kind of caught between a rock and a hard place as he's being torn between what he wants to do with acting, where he has like a character like Fuchs, who is like his mentor and uncle, who is pushing him to like, no, this is what you're good at, lean into the whole killing people as a hitman thing. Then you also throw in the fact is there's characters like NoHo Hank, the Chechen mob, but then you have characters who have no idea what Barry is, like Gene and Sally from the acting class, who don't know that Barry is a hitman, and just Barry's complicated past of like he was a Marine before he was a hitman, and now just all these different phases of his life, and like him trying to contend with who he is, like, oh, the mistakes of my past, do they fully define me? Can I be different? Can I be a good person? I am a good person. So a lot of those challenges are all things that Barry deals with over the course of the series, and it's just a great show in general. I mean, it is funny. Obviously, it has a very like dark sense of humor. Like there's some like dark, funny situations that pop up, but the show's also really good in its dramatic moments as well, because there are just plot point twists and developments that will leave you on edge. Because like there's a lot of anxiety-inducing elements to this show, but you never quite always know how things are going to play out because the show always surprises you. You never know how the other shoe is going to drop and how these story points, how they'll develop and where Barry's story will take you, because Barry's not a good guy, but the show does a really good job of deceiving you sometimes to make you feel sympathetic for him. You're like, oh, like I feel bad for Barry. Yeah, he said some bad stuff, but he's trying to be good. And then the show will go like, oh, once again, you forgot who Barry was and what he's done. And so that ends up being something not only Barry has to contend with, you as an audience member have to contend with and come to terms with that as well. So it's such an interesting dichotomy to kind of dive into. The show also really does a good job of letting you get to see Bill Hader in a different way you've never seen him before, because most people will know Bill Hader in a more comedic sense, and you still get to see that in this show as well, obviously, like I said, with a dark twinge to it. But what's also interesting is like when you see like the depths that come out of Barry, you get to see Bill Hader when he like starts diving into those deep, like darker elements of just the show in general, but also Barry. When you see all that, it's actually really neat. I mean, like I said, not even just in front of the camera, but even behind the camera, you get to see a different side of Bill, because obviously he's part of the writing team for the show. I mean, he's one of the creators for the show, and he's also part of the writing team, but he's also directed quite a bit over the course of the series. But in the final season, he ended up directing all 8 episodes. Obviously, the show doesn't just focus on Barry, it also focuses on other side characters like a NoHo Hank, like a Fuchs, like a Sally, or like a Gene, but it is about what kind of effect Barry has on these people. Like they all have their own issues, and Barry just kind of brings out that darkness in them in some shape or form of like, maybe they weren't always like the best of people in some regards. Like there's a lot of underlying issues that come to the surface that they all kind of have to deal with and contend with, not only Barry's stuff but also their own stuff, for better or for worse in some cases. It turns into a case-by-case basis situation for each character, but it's just a roller coaster ride of like not only with Barry but all these other characters and their storylines and what they have going for them. And obviously like the kind of almost inside baseball but almost like parody of the acting world and auditions and just like people you'd meet in that world. So there's a lot of commentary on that and kind of poking fun at, like I said, a very putting a truth lens on it, but also putting the comedic like hyperbole to it as well. But it's just a great well written, well acted, well structured, well directed show. Like there's just so much craziness that they're able to do in this show, and just leaves you flabbergasted with just how crazy things can get from a storytelling perspective. Like I said, you just sometimes don't even see some of these plot points coming of like, oh, that's where you're going. So I highly recommend it. I mean, Barry, if you haven't seen it, is complete. It has a total of 4 seasons. Each season's only 8 episodes. Each episode's like less than 30 minutes, so they're like pretty quick to go through, and it is well worth the ride. Really, that's all I wanted to talk about. To the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and goodbye.